have returned.
Bronya, I thought I'd lost you. Where were you? Are you hurt? I'll fetch the butler right away.
No, there's no need. I don't want to see Sebas right now. Sorry, Mother. I'm fine, really. I just got into a few skirmishes down in the underworld, but nothing I couldn't handle.
The underworld? Oh, I see. In that case, report everything you saw. Commander Bronya.
After the failed pursuit at Backwater Pass, the wanted outsiders and I were somehow taken to the underworld. Because of the difficult situation we were in, we formed a temporary alliance to help the residents of the underworld resolve a few issues of survival. We also defeated an ancient robot known as Svarog and learned some truths about the Stellaron.
I'm listening. Go on.
Madam Cocolia, it is my firm belief that the visitors from beyond the sky are not the villains we had imagined before. I witnessed them take up arms in the name of justice and risk their lives for the sake of others. I can also ascertain that they did come for the Stellaron, but only to relieve the disaster it has brought upon Belobog. Mother, you've always known the truth about the Stellaron, haven't you? Well, the responsibility of bearing that truth will fall upon me one day. Such is the burden of being guardian, to carry these secrets for eternity. So, I ask you to forgive my defiance, but I believe that the order to dispatch the outsiders was a mistake. To solve the problems brought on by the Stellaron, the architects waited hundreds of years, and those outsiders may be the...
Enough!
What?
Arrogant. Ignorant. Oh, you disappoint me, Bronya. You merely glimpsed the tip of the iceberg, and now you think you know everything. You spend a short time with that underworld scum, and suddenly you have the audacity to question my orders? Guards! Take Bronya.
They are not scum. My entire life, everything you ever kept from me. I remember it clearly now. This time I am standing my ground, Madam Guardian. And please, stop dismissing me with vague excuses. Tell me what you have seen. What exactly it is you are hiding. Why do you send the Silvermane guards to die in the Fragmentum? Why have you abandoned the people of the underworld? And why? Why did you have that sudden change of mind?
I see. I knew this moment would come sooner or later. I just didn't expect it would be so soon. You want to know why I gave those orders? Is that right? Do you believe you're ready to learn the truth?
Yes. I am ready, Mother.
Then come with me, Bronya. It is time you heard it. The voice of this dying world.
We're finally back. I forgot what fresh air tasted like. Oh, wait, I haven't finished yet. All right, let's go. Where's our next stop? We should find somewhere to put our feet up. As long as it's not Goethe Hotel again.
Classic unreliable Sampo. He probably guessed we'd ask where his hiding place was. No sooner are we back in the administrative district than he sneaks off.
The bro or the sis? If you're talking about Japard, we should be careful. He's a top Silvermane guard. He'd probably get a medal for every one of us he brought in. Don Hung, what do you think?
I think it'd be best to pay a visit to Serval Landau.
So, you think we should avoid Japard for the time being, right?
He's an elite officer of the Silvermane Guards. It wouldn't be easy to get to him. Besides, if he hasn't been persuaded by Branya's letter, we'd be walking right into the lion's den.
Makes sense. Guess we better head over to Serval's workshop then?
But we must keep a low profile. We're still wanted fugitives.
What's wrong, Zila?
Nothing. It's just a little... new. The last time I was on the surface, I was still a child. I have no memory of any of this. The overworld and the underworld. We've been cut off for so long. I'm okay. Let's go.
All right, you'll be safe here. My workshop has pretty good soundproofing and barely anyone comes in. Just what crime did you commit exactly? They recalled a bunch of guards from the front line to track you down. It's unprecedented. Now they're patrolling the whole city and everyone's in a panic.
Oh, we just...
Not yet, March. Branya said we could trust you completely.
You mean to say you don't trust me completely? Good. That's smart of you. But you needn't worry. Kokolia and I aren't even on speaking terms. It was her that ejected me from the Architects. I refuse to stand with her. I don't believe you guys would do anything bad. And the Architects are gonna need conclusive and publicly available evidence for me to think otherwise. Besides, I know the Architects, and if they did have any evidence, they would have released it by now. I know Kokolia's style. Get everyone into a frenzy first. Most people in a frenzy don't stop to ponder the details. You could say that. We were like sisters once, inseparable. Of course, that was all before she became the Supreme Guardian. These days, I just spend my time fixing things in this workshop and playing music. It's a pretty carefree existence. If I'm not careful, I'll start boring you all with sob stories from the past. Let's get back to you guys. If long-lost Branya told you to come here, you must have something important to tell me. You can trust me. I know our paths have only crossed once before, but my intuition tells me you guys are good people. And I've got good intuition, by the way.
Ooh, I'm the best storyteller! Let me!
Perhaps I should do it. Or we'll still be here tomorrow.
So that's what's been happening. No wonder we hadn't heard from Branya recently. After all these years in isolation and without a single word from below, this is what's become of the underworld? I believe you. There's no way you could have invented all those twists and turns. What's more, we have Miss Zila here as living proof. As for the Stellaron, I know why Branya got you to find me. When I was still one of the Architects working in the Scientific Research Division, I was researching the Stellaron. I never thought I'd hear that word again after being expelled by the Architects. Come on, I'll tell you everything.
As soon as the restricted zone gate is open, the monsters on the other side will turn out in full force. The guards will do their best to stall them and buy you some time. Once you've broken through the front line, there's nothing more we can do for you. You'll have to find out for yourselves what lies within the Northern Fragmentum. So, Have you made up your minds? Understood. Keep your weapons close. This will be a fierce fight. Guards, open the gate.
Are you dealing with attacks like this every day?
It's a common occurrence. Guards, formation.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I don't owe the guards any favors when this is done.
This cinch is but a vision!
Rules are made to be broken. You don't think you're welcome!
No.
Do not resist, Bronya. Accept the common will.
No! I don't want this.
Look upon their promised future, Bronya. A world without poverty, without cold, without suffering. A world where people no longer have to pray like prisoners for survival. A world that we can guard for all eternity. 700 years ago, we tried and fought unceasingly, believing that the radiance of human nature could shepherd us towards rejuvenation. And to what end? A crushing defeat. Why, when faced with irrefutable strength, is our first thought always to resist? To cover our ears instead of hearing the call? It is the conceit and cowardice entrenched in the depths of human nature, so difficult to efface. Cast them aside. Break free of the chains that bind you. The Stellaron will lead humanity to evolve, and they will.
Your brainwashing ends here, you witch!
Zila?
You came. I thought the blizzards had entombed you.
You wish! We're not going down before you do. Bronya! I don't know what happened between you and them. Even if you explained it to me, I probably wouldn't understand all the crazy details. But there are two things I do know. One, these guys have come through hell to get here, to seal this Stellaron thing. And two, do you remember what I said? If anything happened to you, I'd save you. Do you understand? Even if the damage is done, even if you've completely forgotten our promise, then I'm just gonna have to knock you out and bring you back myself!
Zila. All of you.
Finished? I think I've given you long enough to bid farewell. It's time I told you my other reason for bringing you here, Brown. I want to witness your choice. I have told you all the truths there are to tell. The deal with the Stellaron, the wish I made to it. There are no more secrets between us. Many years ago, the voice of the Stellaron sounded in my ears for the first time. I was no different from the previous generations of Guardians. I withdrew, refused to hear. I was as you are now, bitterly defending the Architect's so-called preservation. My conviction was once steadfast, unparalleled. Until a sudden change arrived and threw everything into chaos. Another choice appeared before me. The subversion of the old order, and the welcoming of a new world. And compared to the illusory, ever more distant preservation, this was so tangible. I have agonized, long agonized over how to convey all this to you. Inevitably, the promised tomorrow will transpire. But if you were not there beside me to watch over that new world, then I would descend into torment. Bronya. Enduring torment. Perhaps I should be thanking you, outsiders. The pressure you have imposed has at long last compelled me to confront my final weakness. Bronya, throughout your life, I have never forced you to submit to my will. You have always, will always have a choice. As then, so now. Choose, my daughter.
Madame Cocolia, I am grateful to you for raising me and for allowing me the privilege of choice. But I am sorry, Mother. On this, our final occasion, I cannot stand with you. You say that conceit and cowardice lie in the depths of human nature. Perhaps you're right. Desperation sheds a light on the darkest recesses of the heart. What about those simply struggling for survival, fighting for something better? I've witnessed their light on the front lines, in the underworld, in places you have overlooked. Our ancestors built this city, striving in the bitter snow to prolong our civilization. Even if this world is doomed to fall apart, we should allow humanity to pave the way to its final outcome. Not hand over our fate to the seed of ruin. We are guardians, Mother, chosen from among the masses. Our duty is to preserve the world built by humanity. We are not gods. We are not arbiters. You seek to crush human nature underfoot while masquerading as an arbiter and a god. I cannot let you.
So, this is your choice. I understand, Bronya. Pity. Such a pity that you will never see that resplendent world. Unable to free yourself from the shackles of your mind. You know what? You were supposed to be the mother of the new world.
The ground! It's shaking! What's happening?
That sign!
The fate of this city, of Belobog, is sealed. Its future will unfold in our hands. And you will become the foundation of the new world. You must break the old to build the new. The Supreme Guardian commands you! Rise, engine of creation!
It's one of the Architect's ancient machines! Watch out, all of you! Himeko! It's Himeko!
Hello? Can you hear me? Because the signal's terrible.
Himeko! You finally spared a thought for us.
What are you talking about. Weldon up and up on the you the time. You've got quite the trailblazing edition on your hands. So, how did that guy work? Or, importantly, how do you stop him from working? Over to you guys, I guess.
I'll cover you!
Grab hold of me!
Behold, the power granted by them! Is this the universe? But I was fighting Cocolia. Why am I here? The last time I came here, I drew Nanook's gaze. Could it be?
The city is drowning in tears. The power of the preservation is fading. We could not defy the will of the Stellaron after all. Yes, but we have no right to judge. The Fragmentum had been expanding for the past 700 years. There is no faith nor wealth left for our successors. Only despair. To see the home we vowed to preserve wither away. That in itself is torture. Not to mention the haunting whisper of temptation. The day will come when even the strongest of wills cannot help but give in to such influence. It is only a matter of time before the Amber Lord forsakes us. You are but a stranger to us. And yet you seek to bond your destiny to ours. So be it. What is there to lose when so much has already been lost? Touch the light of the Amber, Trailblazer. See if your will can attract their gaze.
Can't be.
The will of preservation has made its choice.
You know nothing of the plight of this world.
nothing of the wait for its final end.
Even if we are doomed to destruction, we will go bravely, walking hand in hand into the darkness.
No! That end won't come to pass while we're around.
This sanctuary is but a vision.
Flaming Lance! Forward!
The Stellaron, one is towards the future. It will engulf everything! It's over.
Mother, did you wake up from that dream?
Wow. That was a tough trailblazing expedition. We made it! But, what are we gonna do with the Stellaron? It's usually Mr. Yang who handles it.
I've informed Himiko and Mr. Yang already. They'll seal the Stellaron.
Nice! The crisis on this world is basically over, right?
The storm still rages on. Now that the Stellaron is sealed, the eternal freeze will slowly recede. Fragmentum won't aggressively expand anymore, but nor will it disappear. Jarilo-VI has a chance to return to life, but it will take time. It will depend on the efforts of the people here.
Thank you. All of you. This victory is only the beginning for Belobog. There is still much to do. The people will have felt the effects of the engine of creation. There are so many questions to answer, so many truths to reveal. I don't know whether I can get the people to accept all this. Can I really do that? Tell everyone about Mother's true motives? About a lie perpetrated for 700 years?
No. No. No way.
Sila,
I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think there's any other way. In the underworld, we tell the kids, things will be better tomorrow. Everyone knows it's a lie, but it gets them to sleep with some hope. Can you imagine the consequences if we told the people what happened here? They'd be devastated. If we can't trust the Guardians, who or what can we trust?
Mother died to preserve Belobog.
What?
The visitors from beyond the sky told her the secret of the Stellaron. She knew that Alyssa Rand, the first Supreme Guardian, had failed to destroy it. And yet, she decided to challenge its power, a power beyond human comprehension. Supreme Guardian Cocolia sacrificed herself to dispel the dark clouds enveloping this city. From here on out, that's the truth the world will hear. What do you think?
It keeps the hope of preservation alive, at least.
It's logical, and hard to disprove.
Why do we have to lie? I'm abstaining. I like telling the truth. But I get what you're trying to do.
Thank you for understanding. For many people, Mother was an outstanding guardian. The whole truth will live on in my mind. All the mistakes, madness, evil, dreams therein. I will be the one to carry that burden. Now, I must take over the duties of the Supreme Guardian and discard my naive fantasies. I'm sorry, Seele. Please, protect this secret with me till the end of our lives.
Say no more. I know what to do.
Thank you. Well then, as promised, let's start rebuilding the bridge between the overworld and the underworld. Seele, can you tell everyone in the underworld that the Stellaron has been sealed? And tell them the blockade will soon be over, and they will breathe freely again soon.
Of course. Leave it to me. Nat's probably getting anxious about the delay.
While you do that, I'll head back to the administrative district. I need to tell Jabard and serve.
Are you okay?
What's wrong, Bronya? Do you feel sick?
I'm fine. I need to hurry.
She's exhausted. Quick, we need to think of something. You, help me out here.
Right. I almost forgot. You're still wanted by the guards. I might be an underworlder, but at least I don't stand out as much as you guys. That's settled then. I'll leave Nat to you. Remember to keep the secret. For Brun... No. For Belobog's sake.
So, wanna tell us what happened back there? Don't think you can just reappear on the battlefield with a cool weapon in your hands and skip the story. Thank you. That's not answering my question, though.
She probably doesn't know what happened either. This wouldn't be the first time. Something similar happened when we faced the Doomsday Beast on the space station. Remember that glance from Nanook? Originally, we thought it was because the Stellaron was linked to the destruction. But now it seems to be more than that. We might need to speak with Mr. Yang to understand what's going on. Let's focus on the business at hand first. We shouldn't disrupt Himiko and Mr. Yang while they're dealing with the Stellaron. Let's talk once we're back on the Express.
You're right. We need to finish what we started. Let's hurry up and find Natasha. Natasha! Oleg! Hope you didn't have to wait too long.
Oh, it's them.
You kids move fast. By the look on your faces, I assume you come bearing good news?
You bet. You might not believe this, but we summoned up all our strength and then... maybe she should do the talking. I'm no good at serious stuff. I'll probably say something I'll regret.
The Supreme Guardian sacrificed herself to seal the Stellaron. We were there at the fight. We witnessed everything.
Sacrificed herself, huh? Sure, yeah, that's the whole story.
Cocolia, in order to save Belobog, she... I see.
People of Belobog, hear me! Today we gather here to celebrate our victory, but it was a sacrifice made by a mighty guardian that delivered us this opportunity. She dispelled an evil that cost us 700 years of suffering. And in the process, she paid the ultimate price. The sacrifice of Cocolia Rand ushers in a new chapter. The blizzard beyond the walls will die away, and the offensives of our Silvermane guards will begin to contain the Fragmentum's advance. In the far north, I witnessed with my own eyes the struggle between the late Supreme Guardian and the evil power that sought to destroy us. In her last moments, the Supreme Guardian told me her greatest regret. The order to seal off the underworld from the overworld. With the passage of time, she gradually came to realize the consequences of that decision. Although tortured with guilt, she could not undo the damage. In her final moments, she wanted us to mark the Stellaron's end by reuniting Belobog. Overworlders and Underworlders must embrace the dawn of a new age. Together. People of the Underworld, I dare not ask for your forgiveness. I now know the reality of your decade of suffering. But I want us to work together. We know that without your perseverance and hard work, Belobog will not recover its former glory. And the seed of civilization will not be preserved. And on that note, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to a few guests of the city. Most of you were not aware of their arrival. But it is thanks to them that our world now flourishes with hope. They made me realize that while we remain focused on preserving the ground beneath our feet, we should not forget to look up into the sky. I firmly believe that with the determination of everyone, our world, the world the Trailblazers call Jarilo-VI, will no longer be alone among the stars. But before we accomplish that goal, I humbly ask you to follow me into the future. I, Bronya Rand, the 19th Guardian of Belobog, hereby take my oath.
Lady Bronya! Lady Bronya! Long live Belobog!
Bronya, we're back!
March, Dan Heng, and you. It's wonderful you made it to the address. Sorry, I know the invitation was very last minute, but I needed to get the news out as soon as possible. The longer people waited, the more rumors started to swirl. The situation risked spinning out of control. Yes, I'm fine now, don't worry. My mother... she tried to force the voice of the Stellaron into my head. It was a terrible feeling. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't shown up.
That was some speech, Bronya. If I had to talk like that in front of a huge crowd, I'd be shaking head to toe.
It was all just a bunch of palatable lies. I hope you never have a similar experience, March. I prefer to be honest with the people. But I also want to preserve their hope.
Dan Heng, wanna talk about Mr. Yang's findings?
Allow me to explain.
Which means the Fragmentum has already taken root by this point. Even though the Stellaron is sealed, we won't be able to reverse the damage immediately. I know. Our ancestors wouldn't have risked using one if they'd had other ways of avoiding calamity. You've gone out of your way to save this world. You nearly lost your life. I have no right to ask for more. Besides, I agree with Mr. Yang. Ultimately, the fate of Belobog is in the hands of its own people. In that case, as a leader, I must give you a promise of the same weight. We will hold out with everything we have until the day you Trailblazers return. Even if it takes another 700 years, the children of Jarilo-VI will look up to the sky with hope in their hearts. So long, my friends. May the preservation bless your journey.
Congrats! That was one heck of a first trailblazing expedition!